Hey everyone, my name is Ananya. I am a predoctoral intern here at Howard University Counseling Service.
Hi everyone, I am Selena Cuffy. I am another predoctoral intern here at the University Counseling Service.
And we are here today to talk to you briefly about some of the emotions, both pleasurable and unpleasurable, that might come up for you as you transition from being at college to going back home for the holidays. So, some of the things that we might experience as we think about going home, some of the thoughts and the feelings we might experience are, excitement, anticipation. We may really be looking forward to going home and eating home-cooked food or going to a favorite restaurant. We may be excited to feel that support of being around our loved ones again.
And taking a break from classes. I'm sure that's a really big one. The break to slow down and take a break from the demands or the assignments, exams, and waking up to go to classes, of course.
Right, but then there's also some flip sides, and there's maybe some unpleasurable emotions that come up as we think about going home. One of them can be experiencing that loss of independence when you go home, being back on your family's routine, adjusting to their expectations of you being in the house, transitioning from being an independent, autonomous adult to then sort of being a child in their home. Again, it can feel really restrictive and can lead to feelings of frustration, of resentment sometimes. Then there's also sometimes the pressure of meeting your parents' expectations, telling them about how school's going, sort of proving to them that you're doing well at school, and really responding to the fear of judgment that may come up. So that can be really tough. And then there's the more obvious one, like the anxiety about family dynamics. So navigating challenging relationships, conflicts, unresolved wounds, certain worries about re-experiencing certain difficult things within your dynamics. That can also be really tough and anxiety provoking.
Some other situations that might provoke an unpleasurable or uncomfortable feeling might be dealing with some identity conflict. Here at college is a time of self-discovery, and you may feel that the roles that you might have to go back to at home or within a family dynamic may be different from your new sense of self, and that can be uncomfortable, and you might be struggling with feelings of inauthenticity. Another thing that could happen is the fear of reverting back to old patterns. Again, in your new discovery here at college and learning new things about yourself, thinking that you might be going back to old patterns, or regressing back to old dynamics, or just being part of dynamics that you've outgrown. That can also be uncomfortable and also be a bit anxiety provoking, thinking about how you're going to handle that. Another thing is also about your concerns about changing relationships. Being at college, you've probably realized that friendships that you've had back home or family relationships that you have, they have changed. The dynamics have changed. They're not the same. Roles have changed. And so that can also be anxiety provoking, thinking about, well, how are you going to go back to that, and how are you going to navigate these new roles?
We have two tools for you guys to employ when you go back home if you find yourselves dealing with heightened levels of unpleasurable or uncomfortable emotions. The first is radical acceptance. I'm going to let Selena explain that.
Yeah. So radical acceptance is really looking at your situation and accepting it for what it is. Taking reality exactly as it is, without judgment or without feelings of wanting to change everything, a lot of resistance. It really is accepting your reality for exactly what it is. And sometimes what that might look like is saying, this is my family, and while it is not ideal to me, I can tolerate this for a short period of time. It requires us to accept the reality to prevent feelings of resentment and feelings of resistance, especially for situations that are not flexible, especially for a short period of time.
And very tied to that idea is the notion of mindfulness. I'm sure you all have heard about the idea of mindfulness. the principle that sort of is at the core of mindfulness is that we all have all kinds of thoughts and emotions that pop up. We're not always going to be thinking positively and being happy. Sometimes there's an expectation that when we go home, we should feel happy and we should experience unconditional love and support, but oftentimes it isn't that way. So whatever emotion it might be, helplessness, anger, rage, sadness, disappointment, whatever it is, notice the emotions that are coming up for you. Mindfully notice the sensations in your body that come up and the emotions as they arise, and do not judge them. Just notice and observe them. Name the emotion. Say, all right, I'm feeling sad right now. I'm not feeling the best right now. Once you notice and observe without judgment, without pushing away or resisting, like Selena said, we are accepting the wound for what it is without adding salt to it, right? So we want to try and just name our feelings, observe our feelings, and just sit with them briefly before deciding how we want to respond to them. We hope that helps, guys, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays.